Ohalihav ben Achisamach, Ohalihav, the son of Achisamach, Lemate Dan, who was from the tribe of Dan. And here, the Torah uses two words to express who he was. And to understand, if we come to understand the secret of these two words, we come to understand a very important secret. It says about this man, Ohalihav, who was the assistant to Bezalel, he was Charash v'choshev. It says he was, again, the word Charash comes from the word deaf, and we'll come to see what that means. Charash v'choshev, and a man of thought. These two words, literally translated a Charash, or somebody who knows how to engrave, but also means the word Charash comes from the word Chiresh, a person who is deaf. He was a Charash, maybe an engraver, or maybe somebody who was deaf, and a Choshev, a man of thought. What does that mean? So the Talmud in Chagiga tells us that when it says Charash, that word, which again literally can be translated as an engraver, a person who knew how to engrave in wood and silver, but it says Chacham Charashim, that Kshehu Poteach Piv, Hakol Na'asin Kechershin. Whenever Ohalihav began speaking, everybody became deaf. Why is that so good? You'd expect that when you're speaking, you want people to open up their ears. The Torah is telling us what's special about this man, Ohalihav, is there was something deaf about him. He awakened deafness amongst people. Why is that a good thing? So, the Kedushat Levi reveals to us really a great secret. He says there are people, and I think most of us are in this category, שעובד את הבורא בשכלו, שכל אנושי, who does their spiritual work with their mind, with the human mind. What I understand, think about our work, most of our spiritual work. I understand I should do this, I understand I should do this. This is an important tool, this is an important tool. It's all within the human mind. Sechel enoshi. But that's a very low level. It's a level where, unfortunately, probably most of us are, but it's a very low level. What I understand, what my mind comprehends, that's what my spiritual work is based upon. And here he says a statement which, again, he says, Yesh Adam, but there are people, Shehu mistakel al ha'ayin kivyachol, who, there are people who are able to see, and again, it's not physical sight, but are able to come to the consciousness of what's called ayin, or nothingness. V'zeh i efshar basechel enoshi. And to come to this consciousness of nothingness, of nothing, is impossible to attain with the human mind. Rak be'ezer Hashem yitbarach. Only with the assistance of the light of the Creator. What does this mean? What does it mean? The Kedushat Levi uses the term able to see the nothingness. So, I think what this means, most of us who have been on a spiritual path, on a spiritual journey, have had moments of, we'll call them clarity or inspiration. And I hope this isn't new to most of the people hearing this, but there's a moment where you realize that everything of this world is an illusion, that everything in this world is nothing, and the only thing that is important is my connection to the light of the Creator. Now what happens is when people come to this moment of inspiration, it can be caused by all kinds of different things that inspires them to become spiritual, and inspires them to do the spiritual work, but then they lose that consciousness. And they do the spiritual work because at one point they were inspired towards it and they understand the importance of it and they continue. But that consciousness is not maintained. And it's an important question to ask, when was the last time we had this vision of nothingness, as the Kedushat Levi refers to it, which is, when was the last time we came to clarity, right? There's understanding, but there's truly knowing that this is all an illusion. And the answer is, if you're worried about anything, if you have a doubt about anything, if you're upset about anything, you're not there. So, when was the last time, and I'm hoping and I'm assuming that all of us have experienced this once or twice in our lives, but as we'll see, it's important to have this moment of clarity or moments of clarity constantly. But first, again, the Kedushat Levi is revealing to us a truly great secret, that first, it's important to come and maintain. And again, we're not able, as he says, makes very clear, we're not able or meant to live in that place all the time. but we're meant to be there to visit that place consistently. And therefore ask yourself this very important question. This is one of the great gifts of this Shabbat. When was the last time you viewed nothing? When was the last time, in the words of the Kedushat Levi, you were mistakel al ha'ayin? You saw nothingness. Which means, again, you came to the clarity that everything of this world is an illusion, everything of this world is silly, and the only thing that is important is my soul's connection with the light of the Creator. When was the last time you had that? How often do you have that? And he says, and he continues, first, this is a gift from the light of the Creator. This is not something that we can earn ourselves, but there are things that we need to do in order to be able to receive this gift. But it is a gift, he says, from the light of the Creator. He says, this is the secret of the verse. It says about Moses, Utmunat Hashem Yabit. It says, Moses saw the picture of God. What does that mean? He saw the picture of God. Tmunat Hashem, the vision or the picture of God. He explains, Machamat shehaya lo ezer Hashem, because he had the assistance, Moses had the assistance of the light of the Creator, haya yachol lihistakel al ha'ayin. He was able to come and live. The thing about Moses, he lived in this consciousness all the time. Those of us who experience this know how amazing it would be, how amazing it can be, to live in this consciousness all the time. Nothing bothers you. There is nothing that can upset you, because it's all an illusion anyway. And we all know this to some degree or another, but none of us, I believe, have this consciousness often, and certainly none of us have it all the time. But we have to, and this is the secret. Again, now we understand, it's a beautiful understanding of the verse, Tmunat Hashem Yabit, about Moses. He saw the vision of God. What is seeing the vision of God? It means being in the consciousness of nothingness. And now what is the consciousness of nothingness? It's important we understand. It is when you have clarity. When you have clarity that everything of this world is an illusion, and therefore, of course, there's no worry, there's no upset, there's no disappointment. And the only thing that's important is my soul's connection to the light of the Creator. And again, as I said, I hope all of us have experienced this at least once in our lives, a few times in our lives, but what becomes clear to us is that it's a necessary, constant part of our spiritual work. On the other hand, the Kedushat Levi tells us it's a gift from the Creator. There is no one action or 10 actions you can do to get this, but you have to prepare the vessel to receive this gift. You have to desire to receive this gift. You have to work on achieving this gift, and then the Creator will give you this gift. Now, the Kedushat Levi will tell us the great blessings that come to the individual who constantly visits that place, who constantly visits that consciousness. He says, "Ubemet zeh ha'adam," the individual, kshehu b'madriga zu, that he comes to this level of consciousness, this level of clarity. Sheyesh lo ezer Hashem lihistakel al ha'ayin, who has the assistance of the light of the Creator to view this nothingness. Az hasechel shelo hu batel b'metziut. Then his consciousness, the individual's consciousness of this world, which includes all the worries and the doubts and the disappointments and the angers, all that disappears. V'hu kecheresh, and he's deaf, meaning he has no connection to everything that goes on in this world. Sha'asechel ha'enoshi shelo hu batel b'metziut. His human consciousness is completely non-existent. And therefore, the secret of what it says in the Gemara, in the Talmud, that Ohalihav was chacham charashim, that he had the wisdom of deafness. It means that he lived in the realm where he was deaf to this world. He lived in a constant state of consciousness, of viewing the nothingness. In the constant state of consciousness, it says about Moses, Tmunat Hashem Yabit, having a vision of the light of the Creator. Now, ובאמת אחר כך, כשאדם חוזר אל עצמות השכל, after you have this experience of this true consciousness, of what's called viewing the nothingness, and you come back into this world, because none of us, most of us at least, are not meant to live in that consciousness all the time. But when you visit that place and come back into this world, Az hu maleh shefa, then you are full of abundant light, because you visited the place that has all the light. And when you come back into this consciousness, into the consciousness of this world, into human consciousness, you are full of abundance. You are full of light. So two things, two very important teachings from the Kedushat Levi. One is that if you want to truly be connected to the light of the Creator, make the viewing of nothingness a constant part of your spiritual work. Knowing that it is a gift from the light of the Creator. But you have to desire it. You have to be doing everything you can to, as it says about Ohalihav, to become deaf to the consciousness of this world, which includes all the doubts and the worries and the anger and all the things that are of this world. And then you will merit this gift from the light of the Creator. But it has to be a constant part of our work. And ask yourself the question, when was the last time you experienced this view of nothingness? This, as it says about Moses, Utmunat Hashem Yabit, to see the Creator. What does it mean to see the Creator? It means to be of the consciousness of nothingness, to be of the consciousness that everything of this world is silly. And the only thing that's important is my soul's connection to the light of the Creator. When was the last time you experienced that? And what are you doing on a constant basis to go to that place often? Because the second part, which is just a beautiful side gift, is that when you go to that place and come back, your soul, your mind becomes full of abundance of light and blessings, because you've gone to the place that has it all. So whether you simply want the blessings, whether you truly want to be connected to the light of the Creator, we have to make this practice, this meditation, this work, a constant part of our spiritual work. If you need more blessings, if you feel you need more connection, ask yourself these questions. When was the last time you viewed nothingness? Again, as we said, what does that mean? This going to that place where all of this world is, as Ohalihav, you are deaf to it. It is silly to you. And second, how often does it happen? How often are you pushing yourself to come to this place? Because you cannot be truly connected to the light of the Creator unless you're constantly doing this. And you also can't receive as the Kedushat Levi says, maleh shefa. You can't be full of an abundance of blessings and light unless you go to that place and come back into this world. Again, as I say, I hope I explained it well, but it is both a beautiful understanding, it is a powerful a secret and revelation. And it is given to us both this understanding and the ability to touch it on this Shabbat. It's a very, very important, for those of us who are serious about our spiritual work, for those of us who really want to accomplish what our soul came into this world to accomplish, we have to make the first understanding that we spoke about and the second one a constant part of our spiritual work.